Hi guys. So today I'm going to tell you how you can become an iOS developer in 2023. I am an iOS developer myself the past couple of years, and I can tell you the best way to achieve this goal of yours. Alright, so the first point would be to have the right attitude. So a lot of people I see are when they start this journey, they are the motivated people. So they come with all the drive and motivation that yeah, I'm gonna learn this and I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna get that good job and get a lot of money and stuff. But my friends, you're bound to fail if you have that attitude. I see a lot of people who come start this journey with that attitude and fail in the long term. So what is the right attitude? I think the right attitude at the start is you do something that you hate doing, but you do it as if you love it. So right now I won't say you have to be passionate about it because you haven't done it. So you don't really love this because you don't know it yet, but you have to start doing it and it will be hard and it will be difficult, but you have to trick your mind thinking that oh, this is so nice, like wow, you love doing it, and just say it to yourself, and keep that attitude inside you of like, no matter in a corner of your brain you're thinking that this is horrible, I can't get through this, but then keep thinking that okay, I love this, I like this, keep going, keep going. And what will happen eventually is once you will get into the journey midway or somewhere there, you will actually start loving it. And that's the correct attitude, is to love what you do, right? I know, love what you do is like one of the things that Steve Jobs says, and this is iOS development. But yeah, I mean, that's the attitude that everybody has, because there are a lot of setbacks and there are a lot of difficulties in along the journey. And if you're just motivated and you don't really love what you're doing, most probably you will end up giving up, and we don't want that, right? So fake it at the start, and soon before you will even realize it, it will become reality. Trust me, it's a very beautiful journey for sure. Now I'm in love with it. Now I feel like it's one of my passions, but it will come to you as well if you have the right attitude. Point number two. A lot of people I see make the mistake of first learning Swift programming language and then moving on to learn iOS development. I think that's quite unnecessary. So, even if you are a complete beginner or you already know a little bit of programming in general, I would say start off with making basic app which requires minimal to almost no code, and you will still be able to get started with it. So I would recommend start off with this course on Udemy called iOS Development Bootcamp. It is taught by Angela Yu. I'll link to that Udemy course in the description. And what you will do is, you can see in the course that when they start the course, they don't start off by teaching you Swift and programming language and then moving on to iOS. They kind of start both of them simultaneously, and you should do that because that's more appropriate way to tackle this, to start this journey. And what I would recommend is, when you are in the midway of that course, so if you're doing that Udemy course and you are in the midway of that course, I would suggest you to start off with another series of tutorials by Hacking with Swift by Paul Hudson. The other one is completely free, but I would still, if you can put in like a little bit of money, I think it's so much more worth it, because I invested that much money and I was already able to 10x, like I recovered that money and earned 10 times more money in like 1 or 2 months after buying the course. So think of it like a really good investment. And also the fact that you will pay money to get that course, that will actually motivate you to actually continue and finish the course. So I think, yeah, that should be the strategy. So buy that Udemy course, go till midway of the course, and then um, start off with Hacking with Swift projects as well, and then do both of them simultaneously together, like one project on Hacking with Swift, one module in Udemy, and then just keep going together. And what this will do is give you an exposure into different styles of projects, and different technologies used in different projects. And I think that is much better and a smarter way to go about it, instead of um, first learning Swift and then iOS development. Because with my approach, you will be starting to make simple apps from literally your very first day, and that's awesome. You need that self what do you say, the not motivation, but like, you feel like, oh yeah, like, day one I am already making apps, so yes, like, you feel like you're doing stuff. So yeah, that's my point number two. Point number three, I would say, is whenever you're following along a tutorial, and you basically, in a tutorial in either of these courses, you are mostly building an app, right? A basic some app. And each and every tutorial, you are basically ending up learning with some little new thing about iOS. Maybe networking, or maybe something about table views, something like that. And what I would suggest is, once you're followed along with the tutorial and you've watched it and you made your little app and you're like, wow, this is great, what I would suggest you do is, in every module, you end up learning a little bit extra, a little bit new, right? So you use that and you make your own app using the same. The advantage of creating your own little projects related to the module that you're following is that you will get that confidence inside you that yes, I can build it on my own. And also, you will be able to showcase your work outside. This is a very important part of learning iOS development. While you're learning and building projects, it's very important to showcase your work, because that's the way, the entire iOS related communities, even the people maybe hiring for jobs, they will also get to know that, okay, there's someone out there who is making good stuff, right? And where do you showcase your work? Usually on LinkedIn. Create an account on LinkedIn if you don't have one, and post a little demo video of your app working. I'll maybe put on a little demo video of my own, and maybe I'll put my LinkedIn link in the description as well, so you can just check out how it should look or something like that. So that is also very beneficial along your journey. Next point is to focus on the basic concepts. So another trap that a lot of people fall into is that they will learn the cool parts of iOS. Like, if they know a little bit about iOS development and they can make basic apps, they will move on to learn like CV Kit, or Core ML, or AR Kit, Reality Kit. These cool modules which uh, tackle some specific use cases. But the problem is, unless you are going forward to like making your own application for you, then okay, it's good to learn those things. But if your goal is to become a developer and get that job, I think it's much more important to focus on the basics, because those basic concepts are used in all the applications, most of the applications. And most probably, your interviews which will happen, they won't talk about some detailed they won't ask you interview questions about something related to Reality Kit or Core ML or Siri Kit or something like that. They will most probably ask you again deep questions, but about the basic concepts. What are basic concepts? Like UI Kit, like networking, like let's say memory management, Swift programming language, depths of Swift programming language. So these are the things, these are the basic building blocks of literally every app. So it's very important that you focus on the basics and not really doodle around in the other cool frameworks. Yeah, you can maybe make a project or so if you have that in one of your modules in your course. And yeah, you can showcase that, yes, I do kind of have some experience of working with them. But what's really important is to focus on the basics and become really good at the basics, because once you do that, these other frameworks, learning them won't be that difficult. Next point, Swift UI or UI Kit. I see I see this battle on Twitter all the time. People are like, "Oh, UIKit is dead. Learn Swift UI." People saying, "No, no, no. You need UIKit. You don't need Swift UI." Here's the final answer. Okay, this is the ultimate answer that you only need to know. You don't need to. Your doubt would be cleared right now. Here's the actual industry level answer. You need to know both UIKit and SwiftUI. The thing is, UIKit is the basic building, the more mature framework. And you can make extremely complicated views, extremely complicated looking app with UIKit. You can't necessarily do that with SwiftUI because SwiftUI is all about writing less code and making a simple screen. Now, if you understand that in an app, there are complicated views and there are also simple views. For example, in Spotify app, if you see the home screen, it looks quite complicated, a lot of things happening. But if you go inside like the settings and then you see a simple list of like account, privacy, like that. So maybe a simple screen was built using SwiftUI and the complicated screen was built using UIKit. So most of the projects these days have a little bit of SwiftUI, mostly UIKit, or maybe no SwiftUI at all. And that's why I would recommend learn both. So, but the thing is, you can go by not knowing SwiftUI and only knowing UIKit, and you can easily get a job, easy peasy, like super easy. But it's always beneficial to know UIKit and SwiftUI. Which one should you start first? Always go for UIKit. Always. Trust me, it's much more harder. If you first do SwiftUI and then move to UIKit, it's so much harder. Learn UIKit, become really good at it, and after that, learning SwiftUI would be like a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll just like boom, I know SwiftUI. SwiftUI is easy. UIKit is difficult. Learn the difficult one first, then SwiftUI will be like a piece of cake for you. Another thing that I want to talk with you about is about best engineering practices. The thing is, in most of the tutorials and courses that you see online, the problem is they do teach you in a very simple manner how to create the app using different technologies. But the problem is, in the industry, in actual companies, we use different engineering practices like this architectures and solid principles and a lot of other clean coding practices which you don't really see in tutorials. And that's why more often than not, people think that, oh, I can make apps, let me apply for this company, and the company gives you a little task to do, a little project to do, and you make it, and the project works, but they still reject you because you don't use the best engineering practices. And this is something that you would learn, you could learn by subscribing to Codeco. I'll link to that in the description as well. They have some good books about it. Or I was actually thinking of starting my own little iOS series where I can teach you iOS development from the very start in proper engineering practices, architecture patterns, solid principles, data structures, algorithms. Yes, you do need those as well. What is a linked list? What is a stack? Push, pull operations, all of that good stuff. And maybe also a series on iOS interview preparation, because yes, that is a whole other thing. Learning iOS development is different, and iOS interview preparation is another skill. So maybe I can, let's see, if you would like me to make videos about that, do let me know. I will surely think about it, and then maybe I'll make some. So I think that's it for now. You got a lot of advice from me, and if you will use this strategy, for sure you would succeed. But if you have any further doubts, or you need further clarifications about some of the topics that I've talked about, you can always write me up in the comments below, or I have my LinkedIn shared, so you can just quickly message me on LinkedIn or something like that, and we'll make sure we have a talk about it. So thank you all for listening. See you. Bye.